94.9 News and Stimulating Talk. Tony D'Angelo in for Lee Elci. Today's honor group of the day is those that love America. If you love America and you love freedom and you love the great things about America, then you are in the honor group of the day on 94.9 News and Stimulating Talk. Well, hi, everyone. You've just listened to me trying to imitate a top radio DJ of 1976, which was the 200-year bicentennial. Rather than listening to a faker, I'm going to give you a tape of the genuine article. This is Dan Ingram, WABC, then Music Radio 77, not news radio like today, but it was a different time then. It was a different place in the United States of America. I can't believe we're 50 years past what we were listening to years ago. Honestly, truthfully, I was around then. I was around driving the car listening to this kind of radio. Anyway, you just heard a hack. Listen to one of the greats, Dan Ingram, WABC, Music Radio 77.
WABC New York, all you need to know to win.
WABC's Dan Ingram Show.
Oh, yeah, it's the best disco in town. The Ritchie Family on WABC with the number 10 record this week.
Number one in disco town. It's the place where hip people meet. Hey, hey, it's the best disco in town. People come from miles around. It's the place to do your own thing. Hey, hey, people just the best. Your music just the best. They're the very best of class. If you make no request, your DJ will do his best to learn on the best.
anyway, if you tuned into 94.9 News and Stimulating Talk and you thought you would be hearing from the great Lee Elci during his July 4th marathon broadcasting session, well, you're in the right place. This is Tony D'Angelo. I'm filling in for Lee here for a few minutes to give you a little bit of a mix. I started to think about, believe it or not, every once in a while it happens. I am a proud contributor to this radio show and what is now a video show on several places on Talk Red Media and Rumble. And I started to think about the first bicentennial or the first celebration. And I thought, man, oh man, that's 50 years ago. And I was around, I was young. I had a car, I had a radio, I had a job, I had a girlfriend. And I just thought that life was just such a wonderful thing. And I was out enjoying every single thing that I can. But yet, there were some really serious things happening back then, unbeknownst to me. And one of the things really, which I'm kind of doing my best here to convey, perhaps I'm succeeding, is that radio was a fun medium then. You turned on, there was the top 40. If you were really, really, really rich, maybe you had an FM radio in your car, or your parents had an FM radio, and you could get some really cool music. But there really was a serious world happening as well, even though I think now we are so much of a news sensitive society. Back then, we really weren't. Our news actually came at the top of the hour and the bottom of the hour with a whole lot of music and fun and ball games and everything else in between. Some of that really serious things that were happening, though, July 4th, 1976. We had a Supreme Court back then, believe it or not. They had ruled 7-2 in Gregg versus Georgia that guided death penalty statutes are constitutional. They overturned the 1972 nationwide moratorium. As the great Mel Allen would say, doing This Week in Baseball or the Yankee game, how about that? Montreal Olympics in 1976, which really was about the best Olympics that I had ever seen. The boxing was unbelievable. There was Leon Spinks and Pernell Whitaker and Sugar Ray Leonard, and I had such an incredible time watching that. But Jimmy Carter, being Jimmy Carter, threatened to pull out of it. He actually did pull out of the 1980 Olympics. I don't know the value of that, but basically we got to see 76, and he threatened to pull out of it, the fink. They were fighting in the New Jersey legislature as far as the income tax. But the governor then, Brendan Byrne, had a proposal, and the legislature froze up on him. None of this sounds familiar to us, does it? There were great bicentennial celebrations happening in the tall ships. Guess what? If you're a game show fan, Family Feud debuted in July 12th. Mark Goodson and Todman, the great game show producers. Families competed guessing survey answers, and that became a long-running staple of TV. Now, actually, you'd think we've got housing problems now. Let's go back 50 years. New York City and federal officials highlighted ongoing efforts to combat housing discrimination amid court cases and reports. There's nothing new under the sun, kids. I keep telling you that. Part of the broader post-civil rights and era enforcement of fair housing. And then the... Again, you think there's nothing new under the sun? You know how the New York Stock Exchange wants to move to Texas because of Zoran Mondami and the fact that New York right now will tax anything it wants to move one way or the other because of socialism? Well, they were thinking about it back then in 1976. And actually back then, I don't think New Jersey had a state income tax. So New York was going to jump the river and gasp, go to New Jersey to have the actual stock exchange. These days, the stock exchange is on your phone. It's unbelievable. But that's just a little bit of what was happening. And I really have how could I put it? I just really have a very grateful sense that we're all here celebrating the 250th anniversary, because as I've learned as time goes on, life is never, ever, ever promised to us. And I always say to people, I say in the 30 with Tony, I say here, maybe in that 20-minute window on the Lee Elci show, there's not a lot of time for humor, but having humor is really something that could get you through some very tough days. You know, when I'm doing my thing on the Lee Elci show, I look at it as that I've got 20 yards to cover and I've got to get to a certain place. So I look, I read, I prepare, I try to get everything out. And more often than not, I come back and I say, I forgot something. So when I do that, I try to pick it up on the Thursday 30 with Tony, the video show that you can see on YouTube and X and Talk Red Media. But I like humor. And, you know, I like to laugh at myself. Believe me, it's not a hard thing to do. May I at least share with you some humor for your July 4th? Got a few things here you can do. Make vanilla pudding. Put it in a mayonnaise jar and eat it in public. Hire 2 private investigators. Get them to follow each other. Wear a shirt that says life. Hand out lemons on a street corner. Get into a crowded elevator if you can find an elevator. If anything, you can find a working office building in Connecticut that they haven't destroyed and turned into some sort of, garbled housing, and say, I bet you're all wondering why I gathered you here today. Here's something I always tell people to get practical education. Major in philosophy. Ask people why they would like fries with that. Run into a store, ask what year it is. When somebody answers, yell, it worked, and run out cheering. Buy a parrot. This is a classic. Teach the parrot to say, help, I've been turned into a parrot. And for those of you that follow the Rocky Radio show, we all know what that means on 94.9 News and Stimulating Talk. I challenge you. Follow joggers, if you can find joggers today, running around in your car, and then start blasting Eye of the Tiger for encouragement. And I'm sure if you did that in our neck of the woods, they'd point and say, oh, you listen to the Rocky Radio show. Anyway, that's just a little bit of humor for you on this July 4th, 2026, 50 years after the bicentennial, celebrating the United States of America.
I was a disgraced bum in exile on July 4, 1976, kids. But I used to listen to the news to see if they were coming to get me. No text messages then. So here is a WCBS News broadcast, the morning of July 4, 1976.
Among the News 88 headlines, the 4th is nearly upon us, and there have been many activities in New York this day, highlighted by a procession of warships up the Hudson to the George Washington Bridge. We'll have reports on what's happened and what's to come.
Set your time to WCBS. 4 tones will follow. The final loudest one marks the exact time.
It's midnight.
CBS News. At this moment, America's 200th birthday begins sweeping the nation from east to west. I'm Rita Sands reporting on the CBS Radio Network. In remarks prepared for delivery at Independence Hall in Philadelphia Sunday, President Ford says liberty is a living flame to be fed, not dead ashes to be revered. And when he visits Valley Forge, he will tell the country independence has to be defended as well as declared, that freedom is worth fighting for, and liberty ultimately belongs only to those willing to suffer for it. All sorts of bicentennial celebrations have been going on across the country, from official parades to backyard barbecues. Now this.
I don't know. I guess the sun just lightens my hair more than yours.
Sun and sunlight, and you'll be blonder tonight.
What do you mean I was never this blonde? You just never noticed.
Sun and sunlight, and you'll be blonder tonight.
You know how the sun lightens your hair? Well, Sun-In makes it happen faster. A little sun-in, a little faster. A lot of sun-in, a lot faster. With the same natural-looking highlights the sun gives. Just spray it on.
Sun and sunlight, and you'll be blonder tonight.
What do you think? The sun only lightens hair for girls?
In our closing moments together, I just want to say to you and to everybody listening here and everybody who's become my friend over the 7 years that I've been a part of this great journey known as the Lee Elci Show on 94.9 News and Stimulating Talk. I love America. I am an American. If not for America, I would not be able to do anything that I have been able to do in this life. And perhaps I do nothing well. There's always somebody who could do something better than me in something, but I have the ability to try. I have the ability to get better. I have the ability, even at my age and stage, to try new things. I have the ability to worship the God of my choice. I have the ability to choose the friends that I want and to work in my chosen profession. I have the ability to help whomsoever I can help. And these are things that in these United States of America, coming into this 250-year celebration of a great nation, although imperfect, but as Lee Elci always says, an incredible experiment, I never, ever, ever want to see lost. And freedom is a gift. Being able to be free and to exercise what is on your heart and mind and to do as you wish and to respect the rights of others is something that we should never, ever, ever take for granted. And believe me, as one who has sat on the side observing the wonders of government for decades and decades, kids, I hate to tell you, government is no solution for anything. Government made a terrible mistake when it started to get into the business of being a social service agency. Because, there's a man, guy that used to walk around in the Middle East about 2,000 years ago, Jesus Christ, who said, you're going to have the poor with you forever. Now, if government thought, going back to the Great Society to now, that it could somehow alleviate poverty by being government, guess what? They failed miserably. And now they're asking us to pay for all of the myriad failures. Remember, on this 250th anniversary, be thankful and grateful that you are in America. And regardless of who the president is, regardless of who your next door neighbor is, regardless of who you or what you do for a job or a profession, or if you need a job, or if you're retired, remember that government is not the solution. The United States of America is. The president is not the solution. Your next door neighbor isn't the solution. All of that is changing, but fundamentally, you are in the best place and the best space, and you're running in the right race, which is the race to freedom. Don't ever let that leave you or have somebody talk you out of it. It's Tony D'Angelo here on 94.9 News and Stimulating Talk. God bless you. God bless America. God bless freedom.
I hope you have enjoyed this special July 4, 2026 segment from Tony D'Angelo on 94.9 News and Stimulating Talk. Charting that week on the survey was I'll Be Good to You by the Brothers Johnson. And I was good to you, and I was not a crook compared to these guys today. So hit it, brothers, and happy 4th.
How you feel instead of I wanna know